Welcome to the Moon Baby Magic Podcast, a space for women and women's stories. For the woman just beginning to believe she can actually heal her painful period naturally. For the one in a full-on love affair with aligning her entire life with her cycle. And for every woman in between. This is a platform to remember the wisdom that lives in our wombs so that we may actualize the lives of our dreams. I'm your host, Natalie Elliott, women's health practitioner specializing in traditional Chinese medicine-based hormonal healing. Ready for slow and sacred storytelling and to learn a little something? Let's dive in. Hey babes, welcome back. Today is a really special episode. It's the first time that I have ever shared a behind the scenes, real life virtual consultation with a first time client. I'm really excited that Caitlin agreed to do this, to have her initial session recorded, because now all of you get to see what it's like actually behind the scenes, how I work with someone to understand the root causes behind their period pain, and you'll start to hear some of the other symptoms Caitlin's having as well, and how I make these connections, right? Nothing in our body happens in isolation. And the framework that I use, this traditional Chinese medicine meets holistic functional medicine meets the spiritual lens of your womb approach, makes these connections so that the changes that you're going to hear that I recommend she make, and the things I recommend she shift, add in, remove, are all based on root cause healing, as well as supporting her in getting out of the pain that she's in as fast as possible. So Caitlin's unique constitutional constellation is unique. And you'll kind of hear some of the things that she's moving through. But this is an endometriosis, painful period, and PMS case primarily. And you'll get to hear all about Caitlin's health history, the symptoms she's dealing with, all about what she's currently doing, what she's tried, and then you'll also get to hear the types of questions I ask and the recommendations I make. My hope is that this supports you in not only seeing what it's like to work with me and deciding if that's something you might want to do, but more importantly, starting to see how connections are made so that you can begin to understand your body more deeply too. So I don't want to take up too much time before this episode, but before we go, I will say a couple unique things about this consultation. I did already know Caitlin, so I knew a little bit of her history. Caitlin's actually been a member in the Cyclical Living Circle, my membership for women, where we have twice monthly calls, sort of a Q&A type call, connection call, and a book club, and a forum where women connect and share recipes and share about their healing journeys as well. Caitlin's been in that for, probably a year and a half. Maybe a little bit longer even. So I know a little bit about Caitlin's history, which isn't always the case when I begin working with someone. The other thing to note is that Caitlin wasn't sure if she was going to be able to do additional sessions. Normally I work with people every 4 weeks. And so because of that, I made a lot of recommendations in this initial session with Caitlin, because I wanted to make sure she had plenty to implement. Normally I would work sort of on a month by month basis, only adding in a couple things at a time. So this is unique in those ways, but otherwise you get to see really exactly what it's like to get behind the scenes of a one-on-one session. So for anyone who can relate, I'm sure you can relate to some of the symptoms Caitlin is experiencing and some of the ways it's impacted her life. This episode is for you. So all that being said, let's dive right into this episode, and definitely reach out to me on Instagram, book a free discovery call if you resonate with any of this, if you'd like support. I have one spot open to work one-on-one with me right now. So if you listen to this session and think that might be yours, go ahead and book a free discovery call at the link in the show notes. I'm also going to make sure I include links to the membership, links to my course, and links to some of the recommendations I make for Caitlin in the show notes too, so that you can have everything you need there. All right, let's do it. Hey, Caitlin.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. We finally have some sun here in NorCal after a bunch of rain, so I'm enjoying that the sun is back.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had rain for a couple days and now it's warm again.
Yeah, nice. I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I already have this recording. So thank you so much for being here. And yeah, being willing to share this session with the listeners of my podcast. I feel like yeah, more and more I've been thinking about how important it is for us to be able to get not only insight into like what other women are moving through their cycles and through their own like experiences of their body and their womb and their health, but also to see like how someone like me is like putting these pieces together and making recommendations. So my hope is that this not only supports you deeply, but also a lot of women who are going to listen and maybe relate to parts of your story and be able to implement some of these things too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Do you have any questions about this process before we dive right in?
I'm just gonna go with it.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Cool. So I appreciate you filling out the intake form. I was looking at that before we got on, and that really helps me just yeah, get a good idea of what's going on. The cool thing about this, and for anyone who's listening later on, is I do know Caitlin pretty well. She's been in my membership, the Cyclical Living Circle, for some time now, and was in a program I ran before called The Embodied Woman. And yeah, I just have really gotten to know Caitlin and her story a little bit. So um, yeah, I do know that you have endometriosis, and so I see you put that as the main kind of inquiry for this session is endometriosis, and you said fueling my body properly to help manage it. And then when you said lifestyle support is what you'd most like to receive from our time together, I love that because I feel like that's where the deepest changes happen. And what we can really do is like, you can think of it almost like an audit, like a lifestyle almost audit. Not that it has to be that clinical, but all right. Can you hear me okay still?
Yeah,
Okay, great. Yeah, and then I see, have you experienced any of these in the past 6 months? You checked a few things, so I'm just going to read those out. There's heavy bleeding, clotted blood, heaviness in the pelvis, painful menstruation, excessive PMS, digestive difficulty, some pelvic pain, chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression, and then, yeah, the medical condition endometriosis. And under what resources are you most interested in? You said lifestyle, embodiment practices, healing with whole foods, the feminine archetypes, and psychosomatic womb healing, and supplement and herbal recommendations. Perfect. I think that's most of them, or all of them. Those are kind of the realms that I work within. Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for filling that all out, Caitlin. So, what I really like to do is just get a little bit into your story. And so, specifically, when we're thinking of the endometriosis, I'd love to hear like the backstory on that. Like, when did that start? How has that been for you? If you could just kind of give me a little bit of a timeline there.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm 36. I started my period when I was 12 on the
Hmm.
first day of seventh grade. Um, and even that time, I actually didn't really know what was happening. It was so painful.
Mm.
And I mean, I passed out from my period like in my
Oh,
teenage years. I saw a supposed to be a holistic doctor who said, "Oh, you probably have endometriosis, but here's the pill." So,
great. So, you got on birth control at that point.
mm-hmm,
And how old were you then?
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's such a common story. It sucks, but it's such a common story. Before we go any deeper, Caitlin, I want to just mention that I'm taking like very detailed notes and I will email you any and all recommendations I make. So unless you are like a note taker, you definitely can just be present and not need to take notes.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah, of course. Okay, so you were 15, so you'd had your period for about 3 years by then, and they just put you on the hormonal birth control. Was it like the pill?
Yes, the pill.
Okay. Yeah. Did anything change for you after that?
At first it did help my periods, for like a few years, and then it stopped helping.
Okay. And how long were you on hormonal birth control, or are you still on it?
I am not on it. It's been off and on, I think. Like I can't tell you how long exactly.
Yeah.
Off and on throughout my life.
Was it always the contraceptive pills, or did you ever try anything else?
Contraceptive pills, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so tell me a little bit. So between the time you were 15, got on birth control and until now, like what has kind of been going on with your body? What's like really bothered you? What have been significant moments?
I've had, I'm trying to think.
Take your time.
I've definitely always had like really bad PMS,
Mm,
like a really hard luteal phase. I've had two early births or miscarriages, depending
hmm.
on how you say it.
Yeah.
Um, in the first trimester, I've had one live birth, but it was at 28 weeks.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I just feel like my womb has never felt optimal or very healthy.
Yeah, it seems like it started at a young age.
Yes.
Your two miscarriages, when were those? How old were you?
I was 18 for the first one,
Hmm.
and the second one I was 32. Yeah,
And then you were what, like 34 when you had your birth at 28 weeks?
I was 33.
Okay.
So I had gotten pregnant with a long-term partner. We broke up right after, and then I got pregnant again with somebody else,
Okay.
like within 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot for the body.
Yeah. And I did get pregnant on birth control with the 28-week birth.
Wow.
So,
That's really interesting.
yeah.
And how did you feel like after those miscarriages, kind of in your body or emotionally or both? Like what were those experiences like for you?
The first one, I felt very, very out of my body. I felt very ashamed. I grew up in Utah, very religious
Mm,
community. So I really hid it down and like didn't. Oh, and I also got a DNC too.
okay.
Like I never really talked about it. Never. It was something I just didn't want to think about.
Yeah. And when you had the second miscarriage, do you feel like stuff from the first one came up, or were you able to process a little more, or was it similar vibes of like just not really wanting to be involved with the feeling of it?
I felt a little more in my body. I didn't have a very supportive partner.
Mm,
We had been trying to have a baby for almost 3 years.
okay.
That was the first time we got pregnant. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It just we he broke up with me pretty much immediately after, so I don't feel like I really got to focus on it,
Yeah.
heal.
And how did your body feel after that experience?
Um, kind of angry,
Hmm.
honestly. Um, the miscarriage itself was pretty painful, but it wasn't. It was only about 5 days of
Okay.
bleeding, and then my next period was like 2 weeks of extremely heavy bleeding, and I just felt awful.
Yeah. And you were not on birth control for this miscarriage, or you were?
I was not.
Right, because you were trying for a
Yeah.
baby at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to talk about your cycles a little more. So I know we touched on your first period. What about like the last one, like your most recent period? How was that for you?
It was pretty painful
Okay.
because my periods last about 4 to 5 days.
Hmm.
I have about a 30-day cycle,
Okay.
which is pretty on point, unless I've noticed if I'm hanging out with a lot of new women, then it'll change just a little bit by a couple days or so. But
I was just talking to actually a man about this yesterday.
yeah,
He was like, "Is it true that like women's cycles will sync up with each other?" And I'm like, "Yes, it happens, and I can't tell you why."
yeah, my friend's daughter just started her period, and I feel like we're all kind
Oh.
of syncing with her.
Oh, she's got the powerful first blood energy.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so yeah, a 30-day cycle, and you're bleeding for about 4 to 5 days. How much are you bleeding? And the way that you can kind of think about is like you can share with me what type of products you're using and how often you're changing them.
I use, honestly, I tend to use period panties with
Hmm.
um organic pads, like overnight organic pads.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to change it maybe every 3 to 4 hours,
Okay.
the pad itself at least.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little heavier than what we might want. So you are having some heavy bleeding. Is that
Yeah.
for the full 4 or 5 days, or is it like mostly on the first two? How is that?
It is mostly probably on the first two. The
Yeah.
third one is just a little less heavy,
Okay.
and then the fourth to fifth tends to um, not necessarily spotting, but lighter bleeding.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's a normal pattern like that.
Yeah,
What is the color of your blood? Is it like a fresh red? Does it start off brown? Is it darker red? Is it ever pink? Like what does the color kind of do?
it's usually darker red,
Okay.
and then it'll go to like bright red.
Okay. Yeah. And then you said you do have clots
Yes.
like the whole time?
Um, Probably the first 3 days.
Okay. And are the clots, and this is what we do. We get really deep into the very specifics of your blood. Are the clots, would you say they look more like sort of stringy? Do they look more like they're like a piece of tissue, like sort of wet, um, like almost like cervical fluid type looking? What's kind of the consistency of the clots? Have you ever really noticed that?
Um, I'm trying to think. Sometimes it can be stringy, but I tend to
Mhm.
get just like big, like round ones.
Okay, yeah. Um, that makes sense to me. All of these things kind of fit into different patterns. And so, me asking you all these specific questions, I'm kind of starting to put things into, um, yeah, underlying patterns that I see. There's a few different patterns that contribute to something like endometriosis, period pain, that kind of thing. Most commonly, it's a blood stagnation pattern. And I think I've shared with you that before, or shared about it on Instagram at least. And often blood stagnation always has something else that's causing it. So I'm just trying to kind of understand, yeah, like why is the blood stagnating? Because the body doesn't do anything randomly, you know? It's not like your blood's just going to randomly be like, I don't want to move. It's like, okay, why is the blood not moving? And that's a traditional Chinese medicine term, blood stagnation. And what it just means is like things aren't moving the way that they should move. And if you think about that, it makes sense that that would create something like endometrial tissue. So it's like things aren't moving, so things build up. Or why it would create pain, like things aren't moving, they get stuck. That's painful. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. And when I got diagnosed, they said that my organs were kind of fused together
Okay,
with the
interesting.
endometriosis in my pelvis.
Yeah, I'm writing that down. Did they say which organ specifically?
My colon to my ovaries,
Hmm.
and then my side. I can't remember the rest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. When did you get the diagnosis? Like, can you bring me on that timeline a little bit? Like, how long did it take you of having painful periods to be like, I need to figure out what's going on?
So I was officially diagnosed last year.
Okay.
I want to say like April or May, so about a year. I have had another surgery also where I had an endometrioma removed. They said
Okay.
they removed adhesions, but never diagnosed me, and that was when I was 32.
Okay.
So I've had two endometriomas that I had to have removed.
Okay. And what happened after those surgeries? How did you feel?
Better, honestly. For a
Yeah.
minute, my periods were still hard, but when I
Yeah.
had the endometriomas, well, at least the first one, it was so painful,
Mm,
like all the time, my whole cycle.
wow.
After my last one, actually, now that I think about it, I was still having pain all the time from the endometriosis.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's like getting them removed, like I never want to deny that that helps because it does. Like it actually really does. But what happens to so many people is like you see, I have one client who thought she had endometriosis, and so she was like looking through Reddit and like reading things on Reddit about people with endometriosis, and she was like, Natalie, these people are having like 12 surgeries, like back to back, like they just keep having surgeries. I'm like, yeah, because it does help, but like you have to figure out, like I said before, like the body's not doing something randomly. It's like, why is this happening?
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything you've tried, like from a more, like you've tried having these surgeries, you've tried birth control. Like, is there anything else you've tried to help yourself?
They suggested Lupron. I don't know if you've heard of that.
What was it?
Lupron.
Lupron. No, I haven't actually.
So it puts you in a medical menopause,
Okay.
which is really hard on your body. But I did try the first injection.
Okay.
Um, and I felt better, but you can only be on it for so long because it's not good for your body to
Yeah.
chemically put it into menopause.
Yeah, I'm reading about it now. Oh, I have heard of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a hormone suppressing injection.
yeah,
And yeah, it works as a GnRH, which is like your master hormone to lower your estrogen.
yeah,
Yeah, it's tricky because when you lower your estrogen, then that's gonna not be great for your cycle overall either.
right.
Yeah. But if I mean the mechanism of why it might work is because there's usually some element of like estrogen dominance and things like this. But that, we'd more want to try to detox your estrogen versus just suppress it. But it sounds
Right.
like you did feel a little better. So that
I
does
did.
tell me that there's like a little bit of an issue with estrogen going on for you.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't want to keep because my bones hurt.
Yeah, your bones need that estrogen.
Yeah.
I mean, good for you. Good for you for wanting to try to figure out a different way.
Yeah.
Have you tried anything else like diet wise or supplement wise or anything like that or any like other approaches?
I know I tried. So I personally thought I had PCOS, which I
Okay.
really don't meet the markers for. Uh,
Yeah.
but just from the way I was kind of treated from that first doctor,
Mm.
he just kind of made it sound like, oh, it might be. There's no real point in like checking.
For endometriosis or PCOS?
PCOS.
Oh, I see.
I just thought I was like, oh, I had an ovarian cyst, so that must be what it is.
Yeah.
But so I tried things for that, like chasteberry.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of what else I tried.
Did you notice anything with the chasteberry?
I just had shorter cycles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't really
It
help
didn't.
anything.
Sometimes people aren't really a good fit for that. Like it can really help people who have, yeah, like long irregular cycles, but
Mm.
I don't think it's necessarily like the thing for pain or anything like that. And some people, like if speaking on the PCOS thing, there is kind of a PCOS type of person where Vitex really doesn't work for them and it gives them like headaches and makes things kind of worse.
Yeah.
Hmm. Vitex,
Um,
anything else?
I haven't tried much other than I have like a book for pelvic pain that
Okay, yeah.
has like exercises and stuff.
Okay.
So I've been trying that, and I think that's been helping some, at least with the all cycle endometriosis symptoms.
Yeah. When you say all cycle symptoms, like tell me a little bit about what that feels like for you.
Just like honestly, pretty bad pain.
Yeah.
Almost
And is
like
it localized somewhere?
usually my lower pelvis and lower
Okay.
back.
Okay. And what does the pain feel like? Is it like stabbing, burning? Like how would you describe the quality of the pain?
It can be stabbing. It can also be, I'm trying to think, like cramps, but without the cramping. I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it probably gets worse during your bleed, right?
Yes, a lot worse, but it
Okay.
has been so painful that I've had to miss work even when I'm not on my bleed.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sorry. It's really hard. It's really hard when something that is supposed to be ideally like a normal process of your body keeps you from like living a full life.
Right.
Yeah. Do you feel like the cramps are worse premenstrually, like kind of in the luteal phase, or during your period? When is the pain worse?
During my period.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how do you feel after your bleed? Do you feel like how do you feel physically and emotionally after your period?
I feel some relief, especially
Okay.
now. I think the exercises have helped.
Yeah.
I don't have as much pain in between my
Hmm.
period.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I definitely feel some relief.
Yeah. And before your period, the luteal phase, tell me a little bit about what you're experiencing there. You said there's like some pretty severe PMS.
Yeah, yeah, it's usually um I don't really have the cramping as much, more like a fullness
Hmm.
physically. Mentally, I can get to a pretty dark place.
Hmm. Yeah. And would you say like that mentally dark place, is it more like a depressive state where you're not feeling much, or is it like a lot of emotions, or is it more anxiety, like sadness? What's kind of the quality of that time for you?
It's usually a lot of emotions,
Yeah.
a lot of sadness and
Hmm.
anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah, gosh, it's like such a common thing that so many people deal with. I used to have that really bad. I think I've shared that with you. It was like dark time in my life, the luteal phase, and really doesn't have to be that way. So I definitely want to keep going so we can start getting you some support.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you spotting before your period at all?
no.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Good job.
at this time of my life, at least. I've had times, before, but
In the past, yeah, when was that?
probably like off and on throughout my teenage years and 20s.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you ever get any spotting like around ovulation?
No, not since probably my early 20s.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to switch gears a little and talk about digestion a little bit because I know that often with endometriosis, there is like some stuff going on with the gut that's often involved, and
Hmm.
especially with some estrogen dominance type symptoms too. So I guess the broadest question for me to ask, and we can get more specific, is how is your digestion?
I definitely struggle with it.
Hmm.
Depending. I've been taking digestive enzymes that have helped.
Okay, that's good. Do you feel hungry at regular times throughout the day?
It kind of depends. I used to feel hungry all the time, and now it's just kind of randomly, mostly after I had my baby.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like more random.
It's more
I feel like
random.
I feel like my digestion's kind of slow now.
Yeah, since you had Sawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I did you track the moment that that happened?
Honestly, when I was pregnant,
Yeah.
it started happening. I
Yeah.
used to feel like I struggled more with the opposite, where it was faster.
Yeah.
And then when I got pregnant, I was started to be constipated and
Okay.
just felt like kind of a fullness all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. That does sometimes happen to people in pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I think it can often be, I've been kind of tracking this in some clients of mine. I think there can be an element of the like high estrogen in relation to progesterone thing. Um, So yeah, we definitely want to keep following that thread. Do you notice like certain foods causing bloating, gas, or discomfort?
I've been trying to notice more lately.
Yeah.
The one thing I've noticed the most is like corn.
Yeah. Corn is tough to digest.
I love corn.
I know. It's always the things we love, isn't it?
And I have a feeling I might have some intolerance to like gluten or wheat as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
but I haven't played with that as much.
Yeah. What's your diet like right now? If you could like, I guess the best way, this is what I usually do, is you just run me through like a typical day of eating from when you get up to when you go to bed. So meals,
Um,
snacks, beverages.
I'm trying to think. It's kind of been more random lately.
Hmm.
It's been a busier season.
Yeah.
But I would say morning, I have like maybe a matcha with collagen in it or some
Mhm.
sort of iced tea that I put collagen in.
And like how soon after you wake up are you having that?
It probably takes like an
Okay.
hour and a half. Yeah, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And then I'll do like a Greek yogurt bowl later, maybe like an hour after that.
Okay.
Um, with like um nuts, seeds, hemp hearts, chia seeds, um, fruit, like berries,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And then I'll put like a protein powder as well in it or like
Okay.
collagen.
Yeah.
Um, Lunch honestly just depends. We've been trying to do more rice bowls with
Okay.
like rice or quinoa, meat, some sort of meat, vegetables, something like that. And same with dinner.
Okay.
I
Nice.
haven't been snacking as much.
Yeah.
If I do, like at work, I might have like a piece of cheese and like some sort of vegetable, like a cucumber or an
Yeah.
apple, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like your diet sounds like all right. It's definitely not, it's not an unhealthy diet. But I do like to get really specific with things, so let's do that a little bit.
Yeah,
Ideally, we'd want you to be like having something a little sooner when you wake up. Do you feel hungry when you wake up or not really?
no,
Yeah. Have you ever played around with having some bone broth in the morning? Do you
I
like bone
haven't.
broth?
Um, no, but I can tolerate it. Like I had some
Yeah.
yesterday and it was fine.
Okay.
And I think
Well,
I might just need to learn how to season it right for me.
they definitely need to be seasoned. Are you making it or buying it?
My boyfriend will make it
Oh, sweet.
sometimes when he's not busy,
Yeah.
and when he is busy, I'll buy it.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's some brands that are better than others. I really like the Kettle and Fire brand, and you can find that at most stores, and they have different seasoning ones. The Epic brand is like a little more specialty, but their flavors are actually really good. They have like a Tuscan chicken one, and it's delicious. Um, and yeah, then sometimes I'll like do a bone broth cacao where you like do milk and bone broth and cacao, and then you'd want like actually an unflavored broth, and you don't even really taste it in the drink. I just say that because sometimes something like bone broth is very gut healing, and so it can sort of wake up your digestion so that you do feel hungry for breakfast. Um, so that's something you could try, but I want to make sure it's something that you're actually gonna do. And so if it feels like not doable, then we'll try something else. Do you feel like it would be doable to do? I mean, the matcha with collagen is like pretty good, you know? Maybe if you could just have that, like, do you think you could do it within 45 minutes of waking up?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think I could do that, or at
Yeah.
least I'll start trying. I think I do want to try to do more bone broth as well.
Yeah, just maybe like a couple of days in the next few weeks, like try and start your day with that. Because it really is going to wake up your digestion.
Yeah, and I
And
definitely struggle with getting meat in my diet.
okay.
So I was a vegetarian forever.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. How long were you? When did you go vegetarian?
When I was like 10,
Okay.
and then I stopped, I think around 20, maybe 28.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like I've always struggled with like meat texture and stuff. So I
Yeah.
even notice with my bowls I make, I'll like kind of avoid the meat, which is not the best.
Is there any type of meat that you really like since you've been eating it again?
Um,
Or that's like better than the others?
I like ground beef.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Okay,
good. Ground
yeah,
beef is really good for you.
yeah,
How often do you think you eat ground beef?
like once a week.
Okay.
But I could make that more.
Yeah. Yeah, the baseline that I really like to recommend women, and this is like this is like all over social media. It's like the 100 grams of protein a day. And it's funny because everyone's like, did you get your 100 grams of protein? And everyone's so obsessed with protein. But I do think it actually is important. We wouldn't want to jump you up to 100 grams if you're like getting nowhere near that right now because your digestion wouldn't be able to handle it. But I
Yeah,
think it's worth it to, yeah, just like start incorporating more animal foods in your diet. Um, yeah, I mean, the Greek yogurt is a good protein source too. Sometimes cold food can be a little bit harder for your digestion. Have you ever noticed that?
yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you eat eggs?
Um, I do, but not often.
Yeah. You don't like them.
I don't like them very much.
That's okay. I'm not gonna ask you to eat things that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think trying some bone broth, or your matcha. Is the matcha iced or hot?
I try to do that one hot.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I would try to do the like just mix it up. One morning have your matcha with collagen, another morning have your bone broth, and try to do that within 45 minutes of waking up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, if you can do like a warm breakfast, things that you could do, like you could have ground beef for breakfast.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to do like now I'm in an egg phase. I'm like obsessed with eggs again. But I think I used to do ground beef with like some sweet potatoes and some veggies and make like a pesto for it. And I really enjoyed having that for breakfast. Um, so you could try something like that. And then it sounds like your lunches you're doing pretty good. Like you're having like a carb, a meat, and a vegetable. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, trying.
We, probably most days.
Okay, great. And
Yeah.
are you doing like what kind of, you're doing like ground beef or what other meats are you incorporating?
Chicken. My boyfriend will do ribs, but I won't eat it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think. I've done tofu a couple times, but I know that's not really as ideal for me. I don't think I digest it as well.
Yeah, I think soy can contribute to that like estrogen elimination issue. So I would try to avoid soy.
Yeah.
Um, Tofu being soy, of course.
Yeah. Which sucks. I love tofu.
I know I used to eat a lot of tofu when I was vegan.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, chicken is a good one to have if you want something a little more neutral. Um, Ground beef, I think, is really great. One of my general dietary recommendations for most women in their reproductive years is having ground beef or some type of grass-fed beef like 5 times a week. And
Okay.
so that could be, right? Like you make it for dinner one night and then you have leftovers the next day. That counts as twice. So it doesn't have to be like you're making a fresh meal with ground beef 5 times a week.
Right.
Does that feel like something you might be able to try?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and the reason, and just to kind of tie this back to your concern of the period pain and the PMS stuff, is that grass-fed beef is really high in bioavailable B vitamins. And what I've seen is a lot of period pain, and especially the like mood disorder stuff in the luteal phase, is really significantly bettered by having enough B vitamins in your diet. So I would say that, yeah, can adding in the broth and adding in the grass-fed beef 5 times a week, that's like a really root cause way to manage some of that stuff because it works on the level of your brain, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever taken any supplements, like any vitamin or mineral supplements like that?
Like a B vitamin.
Yeah.
I did when I was pregnant,
Okay.
just because I had such bad morning sickness. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes sense. Did it help?
no. I was sick my whole pregnancy.
Oh gosh, it was a tough one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen. Some people get really sick during their pregnancies. It often, I mean, there's so many different reasons. Some people have like the best diet ever and they still get sick in their pregnancies. So,
Yeah. My diet was whatever I could keep down.
yeah. Um, okay, there was something else I just wanted to ask based on what we were just talking about. Oh, the other thing too, the reason why, just to kind of bring clarity to all of these things that I'm suggesting, so you know why, is like eating something within 45 minutes and like including the amount of protein I'm suggesting. It's not just like these are what every woman has to do. It's like a very common reason why a lot of women are in period pain is that they have dysregulated blood sugar. And I know we've talked in the cyclical living circle a lot about this topic, so you know some about that. But really,
Mhm.
is like what it is that your ovaries have insulin receptors. And so they're very sensitive to these blood sugar changes. And when our body doesn't get fuel within an hour of waking up, it gets a little wonky in there. And so you want to make sure that you're giving your body consistent fuel so there's that safety and that things can actually run smoothly. Does that
Yeah,
make
that makes
sense?
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, I don't think it's unfortunately, just if you're not used to eating meat, it is the best way to get protein to really ground you. I have one client, she's actually in our membership too, and we've been working on blood sugar regulation. That was the first thing we did for our first month together. And I had a session with her yesterday, and she was like, I just feel steady. Like, I just feel steady throughout the day. Like, I'm not crashing, I'm not anxious. And I had the same feeling when I started like really regulating my blood sugar, eating more consistent meals, eating within an hour of waking up instead of like going off and doing all this other stuff first. I was like, wow, I just feel grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that like trying to work on my blood sugar as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Do you feel like you get any like energy dips or crashes throughout the day?
Um, I would say yeah. Like I tend to dip probably around like 10 a.m. and then like 3 p.m.
Yeah. What's your sleep like, Caitlin? Like what time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up?
I try to be in bed at around like 9 and I
Okay.
tend to fall asleep by 10. I
Okay.
wake up at 5:45.
Okay. And what do you do when you wake up?
Um, if I'm going to work, I usually just shower and get dressed and leave.
And eat something, right?
No, I eat something at
Caitlin!
work. I usually eat at work. Oh yeah,
You do eat at work?
I do eat at work.
And what do you, and how long after waking up would that be then?
So I start work at 7,
Okay.
so probably about an hour and a half
Okay.
because usually when I get to work, I make something
Okay.
and
What do you
then
have at work?
eat it. Like the yogurt bowls,
Okay,
or
yeah.
sometimes I'll do a protein oatmeal, but
Nice.
not as often lately.
Yeah, let's try and get you having like the bone broth or something, even on the work days, because that should be simple enough to just like heat up and go with it anyways.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I think there are fun ways to season bone broth, especially like if you like different herbs and spices. Um, Okay, that was a little tangent about sleep. In general, how do you feel like your energy is throughout the day? Like you said, you have those little crashes. Like, how do you feel when you wake up? Do you wake up feeling rested?
No,
Okay.
I usually wake up feeling kind of like a zombie, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Even if you get enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about after meals? Do you feel tired after meals?
Not usually, not if I'm eating the way that I've been trying to lately.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But if I like go out to eat or something and don't get like the best meal, I'll definitely feel it,
Yeah.
the tiredness.
Yeah, that's the blood sugar crash.
Yeah.
How would you describe like what's your stress level like throughout the day or like your mood throughout the day, just on a typical day?
Um, I'm definitely, it kind of depends, but I've definitely been struggling. I have
Mhm.
grief. My son passed away. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's something I've been working on in therapy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely struggle with emotions and anxiety being the biggest one.
Yeah. Do you think that, yeah, gosh, I did, yeah. And of course, it's like moving through. I just think the moving through the death of your baby is like something that no mother should have to experience. And of course, there's going to be things that are going on because of grief that impact your day-to-day life. Um, and I know you know that you've been moving through this for some time now. Um, I guess I'm curious, did you notice that like after Sawyer passed, did you notice the anxiety come in then, or did you used to have anxiety throughout the day?
I've had anxiety like a lot through my life, but I feel like since he passed away, it's just been a lot worse.
Yeah,
Especially just worrying about loved ones and
yeah,
people in general, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Is there anything you kind of, I mean, I guess you said you're in therapy. Does that feel like it helps you manage things or like move through things?
And that's a newer thing in my life.
Okay.
I think I did try therapy right after he passed away and it wasn't a good fit. Sorry about the sirens.
Oh, I can't hear them.
Okay, I wasn't
Zoom is
sure.
really great at blocking out noise.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Um, I'm so sorry. Where was I got distracted.
Yeah, just kind of like how you navigate that anxiety day to day.
Yeah, so I've been trying more like journaling and
Mhm.
meditating,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, taking breaks to just take time and take a deep breath.
Yeah. Do you notice? I mean, we've talked a bit about your luteal phase. I was curious if you notice any of these emotions or anxieties are worse in like different times in your cycle.
Yeah, definitely during my luteal phase is kind of the time where it feels almost unbearable.
Mm, yeah.
And it has been worse since Sawyer passed away.
Yeah. Mm, yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for sharing about Sawyer too.
Thank you. I always love to share about him.
Yeah. Yeah. I always appreciate your shares. Do you feel like, we've kind of talked about like the mood stuff. Do you feel like you get any fatigue throughout your cycle? Like maybe more in the luteal phase or in the follicular phase or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say more during my luteal phase and definitely during my bleed, which I'm sure is normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think it's important for us to know that our energy does change throughout the cycle. Like we're not meant to be, I think I said on Instagram yesterday, we're not meant to be ovulation queens all the time. So as we're
Exactly.
recording this, I'm actually on day 29 of my cycle. I'm about to bleed, so I'm just like super luteal. And I was at the gym this morning, just kind of like, yeah, we're moving slow. Yeah, so totally normal to experience. those dips and energies. I guess more what I want to look out for is if you're feeling like, it's hard to get out of bed, it's like you're crashing out midday. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I mostly just experienced that during my luteal phase.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Um, okay, back to sleep. So when you're going to bed, you said you're in bed around 9, you fall asleep at about 10. Do
Yep.
you have a hard time falling asleep?
It just depends.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure I need to pay attention to if it's a cyclical thing,
Mm,
but it does tend to just depend. I normally
yeah.
fall asleep pretty well.
Okay. Do you wake up at all during the night?
Yes, I wake up actually quite often to pee, to be honest.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
some people are like that. Do you feel like you have a lot of dreams? Like, do you recall a lot of dreams or like restlessness in your sleep?
Yes. And my boyfriend says I talk in my sleep or like groan
Wow.
in my sleep.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's like it's a certain pattern that's kind of related to the heart in traditional Chinese medicine, which
Yeah.
makes sense with some of the like more emotional pieces that you are working through. I think it's easy to really disregard that, the emotional layer of things, but like stagnation, if we even come back to this endometriosis pain in your cycle, like emotional stagnation causes stagnation too, like emotions that aren't fully processed. And that doesn't mean, go out and have a gigantic cathartic experience because that's not very nervous system friendly either. But it's like, how can we, yeah, like create consistent space to feel what wants to be felt? And I do think you're someone who does a good job of that. I feel like I see you really like honoring where you're at, which is really, really admirable.
Thank you.
Yeah. 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 Do you when you're sleeping throughout the night, do you ever get like night sweats or anything like that?
No.
Okay. In general, do you tend to feel more hot or cold?
In general, probably more warm, but
Okay.
that's really just started since I did the Lupron like menopause thing
Yeah.
about a year ago. It hasn't really gone away, the warmness. Before that, I ran cold.
Okay. Yeah, that probably because what happens when your estrogen gets low is it creates like a yin deficient state. And there can be like a deficiency heat that comes through. So that's why people in menopause get hot flashes.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because yin is cooling. So when there's a deficiency of yin, there can be that like excess of heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting that your like overall constitution used to be colder. Do you feel like your hands or feet get cold?
Um, Not really. The only thing that really gets cold for me is my nose.
I know. Why is it always the nose?
I know.
I know, always me too. Like little tip of my nose.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, my nose is cold.
Yeah. So funny. What about with drinks? Do you prefer warm or cold drinks?
Cold in general.
Yeah. And as far as like your thirst, do you feel like what how much water or fluid do you drink daily? Do you feel thirsty often?
I don't feel thirsty very often.
Okay.
I think I probably get about like 60 ounces of water. I feel better if I do about 100, but
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Yeah. What kind of water do you drink?
Filtered. Um, and then I get like a special like well water alkaline thing from San
Hmm.
Diego.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to go to Costco every time I go to get like a few packs of it.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right. What else can I ask you about? We're kind of in this section where I'm a little bit rapid fire with questions, so thank you for
Okay.
bearing with me. Okay, yeah. You talked to me a little bit about that you're just kind of in pain, like the pelvic pain throughout your most of your cycle. Do you feel pain in other parts of your body, like ever any body aches or tension or headaches?
I do get headaches. My neck, I feel like hurts all the time.
Okay. Do
Yeah, I
you
think it's
notice? Sorry, what was that?
oh, I just said I think it's like tension.
Yeah, tension in the
Mhm.
neck. And do you notice any of these symptoms getting worse in the luteal phase?
No.
And I guess we didn't talk about a lot of physical PMS symptoms. Do you get like the bloating, breast tenderness, any of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And when does that usually start for you? Like how long? Do you know when you ovulate, Caitlin? Do you track that?
I have an idea, but I don't do temperatures right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
But I'm usually pretty on from when my period starts.
Hmm.
I track like cervical mucus and stuff.
Okay, cool. And how is your cervical mucus? Do you feel like you see it pretty easily?
Yeah,
Nice. Does it
yeah.
stop after ovulation or does it kind of continue throughout your luteal phase?
It usually stops.
Okay, great. That's good. It's a good sign for your progesterone.
Good.
I love to hear that. All right. And you said some headaches. Does the headache, does it feel like what's the quality of that pain? Heavy, tight, stabbing, sharp,
Um,
dull?
Usually like sharp or heavy.
Hmm. Yeah. And what about with your neck?
I'm trying to think. About the same.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to ask you about your eyes. How is your eyesight overall?
I have astigmatisms in both my eyes.
Okay.
But other than that, like I do wear glasses for it,
Yeah.
but I don't have like bad vision other than the astigmatisms.
Okay. What about at night? Do you see well at night?
I see pretty well, yeah.
Nice. Do you ever get any of like the floaters in your eyes? Like where you see little dots?
Yes.
It's always a funny question. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I do get this."
Yeah.
Um, and what about like, do you ever get like dryness in your eyes or strain in your eyes?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay, back to your digestion. I want to get into your digestion, your bladder, and your vaginal microbiome. So all the fun stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about bowel movements? Do you have consistent bowel movements?
I'm not necessarily. I definitely struggle
Okay.
with constipation.
Yeah. How often would you say they are?
Probably either every other day or like every third day.
Okay. Yeah, that's tough. I'm sure you do feel bloated.
Yeah.
It's tough. We would definitely want to get that sorted for you. Um, and what's the like consistency like? Are they well formed? Do you ever get loose stools?
Not often,
Okay.
every once in a while, but
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think some of us just, yeah, every once in a while, it's most of us.
yeah.
Okay. And then what about urination? Do you ever experience like frequent or urgent urination, or do you ever have trouble going to the bathroom to go pee?
I have frequent urination since I had my C-section.
Okay. Yeah. Did you notice anything else change, like in regards to your pelvic pain after your C-section?
Um, I think I'm trying to think, but not really.
Yeah. What about when it comes to, I mean, I guess you did say that, yeah, your digestion got a little wonky after you gave birth.
Yeah, but it was kind of wonky while I was pregnant as well.
So it started really during the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, okay, now what about like, do you ever have any UTIs, yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, anything like that?
I haven't in a few years,
Nice.
honestly, since I was with my ex. So I think it was my body trying to tell me something.
It's so real. It's so
Mhm.
real. It's yeah, it's a really not underrated, under talked about part of what contributes to issues with the vaginal microbiome is like being with a partner who you don't feel fully safe with. Like your body recognizes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're in like a safe relationship now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess the other question I do have is kind of around your relationship to your sexuality right now, 'cause that is sort of relevant to a lot of these things, and it goes along with, yeah, what we've been talking about with like being in a safe relationship. Do you feel like intimacy, sex, is that comfortable and enjoyable for you?
Yeah, I've definitely had a lower sex drive.
Yeah.
Um, but we've also both been busy.
Yeah. A lower sex drive like recently, since when?
Actually, since the menopause, to be honest.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, do you feel like you don't have as much fluid? Like, does it feel drier and like harder to get where you want to be sexually? Or is it more just like the desire isn't there?
I think probably both.
Okay.
It's starting to come back, but yeah, it's definitely taking its time.
Yeah, we definitely want to work on nourishing your yin a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, what about like cyclically? Do you notice changes throughout your cycle?
Um, Not really at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I think typically most people do have like a little bit of a lower libido in their luteal phase.
Yeah.
Um, but it just depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's interesting about the menopause thing. That would contribute a lot.
Yeah.
Are there any other like symptoms or like things that have changed since then that have been really noticeable for you since you took that shot?
Um, I'm trying to think, but not really, other than I don't have as much pain like in between my cycles, which has been good.
Yeah, that is good.
But then, I definitely still feel like I have is it like lack of estrogen or like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a low estrogen state, so it would have
Yeah.
like suppressed your estrogen a little bit.
Yeah, like my hair is still falling out,
Mm.
probably more. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or
Yeah,
estrogen and stuff like that.
yeah. Caitlin, have you ever gotten your thyroid tested?
I have, but I don't know how um like in depth it was either.
Okay. When was that you got it tested?
I just recently got it tested with my PCP.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the number was?
I can look it up if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Take your time.
1 second. There.
while you're looking that up, if it doesn't distract you too much, I'm
Yeah,
curious what your like relationship with movement or like exercise or like how you're doing with movement day to day.
it's been a newer thing. I was always like really good at like going for walks and like strength training.
Yeah.
After Sawyer died, my relationship with that kind of went
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend and I have been making it more of a priority to go for walks for now.
Hmm.
And then I want to start getting back into the strength training and stuff. So I think that is
Yeah.
helpful.
That's awesome.
So I have the thyroid stimulating hormone
Hmm.
one. It is 2.282.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Is that the only thyroid thing you got?
I'm looking to see because I thought he did a whole like panel. I guess that's all I see right now.
Oh, that's fine. It's like slightly elevated, but not super elevated. Sometimes when you have thyroid symptoms, like, yeah, there can be like digestive difficulty, bloating and weight gain, hair loss, fatigue. Um, yeah, brain fog is another one in that. Do you ever get brain fog, like that kind of like head type brain fog, confused feeling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like when you took it 6 months ago, it was 3.336. So,
Oh, wow. So it went down quite a bit.
yeah.
Did you change anything in that time?
Um, I think my diet has been a little bit better, but
Okay. Yeah. And are you taking any supplements right now, Caitlin, or herbs? Anything?
um, I'm taking what's the liver one?
Liver pills?
No,
Just
it's
like the,
like a liver tincture, but I'm trying to
oh,
think of
milk
the
thistle?
yes. My
Nice.
liver levels have been high.
Okay. And what are you taking it like you're taking it in tincture form?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And are you taking it every day?
Probably every other day if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good fit for you. I would try to take that every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Just mostly the PMS symptoms, like the breast tenderness, the headaches, and also the period pain. So you know how at the beginning of our session I was talking about how blood stagnation has some other cause?
Mm-hmm.
Often it's liver cheese stagnation. And you don't have every liver cheese stagnation symptom because, like certain things like trouble falling asleep is like a pretty key liver cheese stagnation symptom. Sometimes even like menstruation feeling better than the luteal phase is a liver cheese stagnant symptom. But, excuse me, you do have the PMS stuff and you have the period pain and the head symptoms, like a lot of like, your head hurts, you're getting headaches. That's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
classic liver qi stagnation symptom. And the other thing is that you've had a lot of history on hormonal birth control, which is burdening for the liver over time. So it makes sense that the milk thistle would be good for you. So I definitely think let's keep that up. How long have you been taking it?
Just a few months, probably about 3 months.
Okay, cool. Have you noticed any changes in that time?
Um, Not really.
Yeah. I would say maybe finish your current bottle that you have, taking it every day. And then
Hmm.
what we might actually do is switch you to a dandelion decoction, which would
Okay.
be making a dandelion root, like simmering it on the stove and straining it and having it like a tea. Because what that also is it's a little bit draining. And the reason I mention that is another pattern that I have noticed just kind of from getting all this information from you and TCM, it's called dampness. Have you ever
Mhm.
heard of that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What do you know about dampness?
Not a lot, but I
Okay.
heard of it.
Yeah, no worries. So, I mean, it's kind of a confusing thing in our like Western lens, but the idea is dampness descends, and so it can kind of gather in your pelvic space. Sometimes when it's combined with heat, it creates an infection, but I don't think you have it combined with heat. I think it's more of a cold damp. And a cold damp, it can create this very certain type of pain that is very similar to the type of pain you've been describing. And it also can create like that brain foggy symptom and the kind of like bloating. And if you think about it, yeah, if you think about just like having dampness in your belly and your womb, it'd be like, yeah, that feels heavy, like a feeling of just like heaviness.
Yeah.
Does that track with how you've been feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think another thing that I would really like to do, if you're open to it, is take a look at your tongue. You can, after our session, you can just send me a photo of your tongue.
Oh,
And what I do then is I can recommend like custom herbs for you from a TCM lens, like herbs that drain dampness. And you would take that custom formula for probably about 3 months. Let me write that down. Or custom herbal. Because the thing is, I want to be able to nourish your yin because you're having these low estrogen symptoms. It's interesting. You're having low estrogen symptoms, but also some estrogen detoxification issue symptoms, which isn't uncommon because having something like estrogen dominance doesn't mean that you have like super high estrogen. It just means that your estrogen is a little bit high in relation to your progesterone. So it probably means you have a little bit low progesterone too, which would make sense with some of the things you've been experiencing in your luteal phase. So I think overall, like we have to drain the dampness before we can nourish things. That's kind of how the TCM approach works. So we'd want to get you on some herbs to drain dampness. I definitely want you to be going for walks. I think keep taking your digestive enzymes before your meals, but also like see if you can go for even just like a 10-minute walk after each meal. I know the morning might be a little hard because you're getting to work, but if there's something you could do to like some short amount of movement, that's going to really help you. So movement after meals. And then the other thing, and that's good for is the liver qi stagnation too.
yeah.
The other thing is sunlight. Are you seeing the sun in the morning?
Um, no, not
Okay.
usually.
What is that possible for you to do?
I think so. I think now
Okay.
that it is light earlier,
Yeah.
like I think it just barely became possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think doing some morning sunlight before you look at your phone, that's going to set up your circadian rhythm well. It's going to decrease inflammation in your body, and it's going to be really good for your blood sugar too.
Okay.
Okay, I have a few things that I want to say just to kind of like give you an overview of the direction I see us going for you. But
Okay.
I want to know if there's anything else you want to share with me that I didn't ask or any questions you have.
No, I'm just curious to
Cool.
hear what you say.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what's going on, and I mean, with the endometriosis, there's always an element of blood stagnation. I think the blood stagnation is happening because of liver qi stagnation, and also, of course, because of some emotional stagnation, which is something that you're just going to continue moving through. And I think that the longer and the deeper you go in this grief journey, like the more comfortable that's going to be to just like continue to move through. And also the more you're going to get comfortable with the uncomfortableness of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do think that there's a lot we can do physiologically to support you too. So, the liver qi stagnation element, you definitely want to be getting in some movement after your meals. The liver qi really needs movement to move. And you can be doing that milk thistle every day. And once you run out, we'll switch you to a dandelion root decoction because that can also help with the draining the dampness. I'd also like to get you on some custom herbs to help drain the dampness too. We can also see the dampness in those clots, like the types of clots you're having are dampness type clots. So, and dampness can also create pain. So if we address both that liver qi stagnation that's causing the blood stagnation and the dampness, you're going to be in a really good place. So those are kind of the things we'll do for that. And then overall, just to support your blood sugar regulation, getting some sunlight in the morning before the phone time. So what could be a really good flow for you is like you wake up, like have a cup of water or whatever you have in the morning to hydrate yourself, go outside, look at the sun for 10 minutes, and then you can come inside and make your bone broth or your matcha with collagen, and then perhaps like go for a little walk. And then if you need to have your breakfast at work, you can have your breakfast at work because you've kind of gotten some type of nourishment in, some movement in. How does that
That's
sound?
good.
Yeah. Okay, the other thing that I would like you to add in, and this can be kind of after you get some of these other basics in place, would be doing some castor oil packs, both over your liver and over your womb. Have you done castor oil before?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What's been your relationship with it?
Honestly, I just need to do it
Yeah.
regularly, but I have done it.
Yeah, castor oil packs are really best when they're done regularly.
Yeah.
Do you use heat when you do it, or do you just put the castor oil on?
I've only used heat one time and it's after I heard you say that you need to do that.
Yeah, let's try it with some heat. It just really helps activate it and make it more effective. And that could be like a nice thing that you do like in your time before bed. To just what I would do is, I mean, you can use, I have a discount code for Queen of Thrones, which has like packs that you can actually strap on. But if you don't want anything fancy, like what I did for years was I just rubbed the castor oil over my liver, kind of in that right quadrant of your abdomen, and then over
Mhm.
my womb. And I would put a old towel because castor oil stains to
Yeah.
cover all of it. And then I would get a hot water bottle or a heating pad and just kind of switch back and forth. Like every 10 minutes, I would switch it from the liver to the womb so that you can get it both because we want to clear the liver qi stagnation, but the castor oil is also going to really help your endometriosis.
Yeah.
I think that I want to give you one supplement. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
Does it feel overwhelming?
No, no.
Okay. So the supplement is NAC. Have you ever heard of NAC?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you tried it?
Yeah. I think I might still have some.
Okay, awesome. So there's actually a ton of really good research for endometriosis and NAC. When I have clients with endometriosis, we usually do this, especially when they have really bad period pain. And so the research shows that if you do NAC at 1500 milligrams a day for 4 days on, and then you do 3 days off, so like for half the week you take it, and then you take a 3 day break. So you could do like Monday through Thursday, you take it, and Friday through Saturday, you don't, or whatever works best for your schedule. That it's like significantly reduces the size and the pain, like the buildup of the endometrial lesions. So I think that would, I just feel like I can't not recommend that to you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. And that's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
The 4 days
Yeah.
on, 3 days off.
Yeah. 4 days on, 3 days off. Yeah. So I think overall, like we're focused on your diet. We're like getting nourishment in within an hour of waking up and trying that bone broth. Um, Avoiding soy, we talked about that. You're going to get in some movement after meals and morning sunlight before your phone time. You'll send me a tongue photo so we can get you on a custom herbal and continue with that milk thistle until you run out. And then as far as other things, the castor oil packs, and you can be doing the castor oil packs like I would probably do them like every other day.
Okay.
And in your luteal phase, like if you want to, you could do them every day.
Okay.
And then we'll add in the NAC, 4 days on, 3 days off. How does that feel?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I gave you six things. I normally give people like five, no more than five recommendations the first time, but I hope that last little one is helpful too.
It is. Thank you so much.
Of course. And all of this will come to you in an email.
Okay.
Um, and I'm curious if you have any other questions.
No,
No?
nope.
Okay, cool. Perfect, Caitlin. Well, I'm really grateful we got to do this. And yeah, I will send you this follow-up email. Usually I send them within 24 hours. You'll probably get it by the end of the day. a follow-up, I usually do them within 4 weeks. So
Okay.
after I send you this email, you can let me know how things feel and we can check in then.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here and being willing to share a little bit of your story and what's going on and hopefully help yourself and a lot of other women be able to implement some like root level changes that like actually truly support their female physiology.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, you're amazing. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you, so are you.
All
Bye.
right, love. Talk soon. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the wisdom of the womb today. It's truly such an honor to bring these stories and teachings forward to you, and it would mean so much to me if you'd rate and review this podcast so that it can reach more women. If you're looking for deeper support, you can always find the link to join our online community, the Cyclical Living Circle with the best women in the world, in the show notes, and you'll also find the links to book one-on-one virtual sessions for your specific needs, as well as any workshops or courses I'm currently offering. Plus, you can follow me on Instagram, and I love to connect with you all there. All right, see you next week.